What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey, man. This your man Trey, and we're gonna do a quick hits NFL edition on DeAndre Hopkins and what exactly is going on with the arms race to acquire one of the greatest wide receivers in the NFL. So, within the last week and a half, the NFL's been abuzz with a lot of talk about which direction DeAndre Hopkins will be going. Okay, if you do not know, or if you have not been paying attention or not been tuning in, okay, DeAndre Hopkins was released by the Arizona Cardinals I'd say about a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago. Okay, the reason or purpose that they released him is because he was going to count against the cap for $30.12 million. That is the highest salary cap hit for a wide receiver in all of the NFL. He was looking to collect roughly at least about $20 million in salary this year from the Arizona Cardinals. So in turn, they chose to release him and go in another direction, since they do have a new coach there by the name of Jonathan Gannon, who is trying to create a new culture and reinvent Kyler Murray. So with all that being said, where does that leave DeAndre Hopkins? Well, he's had multiple suitors. We are talking about a multiple-time Pro Bowl wide receiver, possible Hall of Fame level wide receiver one day. Given what we have already seen from him statistically, he just has to check a few more boxes before he can actually get that, before we start talking about him on that level. Okay. But yes, D-Hop is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. There were multiple suitors. He is looking for a contract close to what Odell Beckham Jr. got for his 1 year, $15 million deal. Now, D-Hop does want a multi-year deal, but he wants it to be $15 million a year. So the teams that a lot of the pundits were tying him to over the last week and a half, if you watched my previous episode to let you know about what was going on with D-Hop, I vehemently disagreed with who the pundits had put out there. We'll just go down the list, okay? The first team they tried to pair him up with was the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs only have roughly $2 million in salary that they can offer right now, because they only have $2 million salary cap. Now, what they can do is they can try to make some adjustments on the team and possibly free up some more money and give a signing bonus. But the problem with that is they signed Donovan Smith, the free agent tackle, and gave him a boatload of money. So that really hurt their salary cap potential for this season. So you can pretty much X them off unless you think he's going to take a team-friendly deal, which, by the way, Kansas City has already offered him a team-friendly deal, something that would put them in a good position to be able to sign him and still have some free money just in case somebody gets hurt, with a heavy signing bonus on it, but not the $15 million that D-Hop is looking for. So he is still looking at other suitors. Let's go down the next team. The next team that was on the list was the Buffalo Bills. They have even less money in salary cap. Okay, they got exactly $1.2 million in salary cap. So that's nowhere near enough money in order to try to sign a player to the level of D-Hop. Okay, so, and by the way, it has come out that, they're not interested in trying to pursue D-Hop anymore. Okay, so does that have something to do with the $15 million? Maybe. Okay, now let's move on to the next team, all right, that they've tried to tie him to, which is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know a lot of this comes from the world's affinity with the Dallas Cowboys and, America's team and all that good stuff there, but at the end of the day, okay, let's be honest here. DeAndre Hopkins has not expressed interest to play with the Cowboys. Matter of fact, he came out and said that on I Am Athlete that he has zero interest in playing with Dak Prescott. Literally not just said it with his mouth, he said it with his head too. Okay? So it was, you could tell that there's no way in God's green earth that he is going to play with Dak Prescott. All right, and everybody's got to understand why. Okay, Dak threw a lot of interceptions last year, and then on top of throwing a lot of interceptions last year, Dak has not been a quarterback who has had the ability to lead a team to the next level. He has had weapons around him his whole career. He's had offensive line, he's had running backs, he's had wide receivers, he's had a tight end, he's had everything his whole career, and he has not been able to take this team to that next level or next step. So I cannot blame that man for not wanting to go play down in Dallas. Plus, you still got Jerry Jones. And on to even add more fuel to the fire on that, you also got Mike McCarthy is now the offensive coordinator as well as the head coach. So they're going to a whole new offense. So yes, the Dallas Cowboys are out of there. All right. Let's move on to the next team. Okay. Which is honestly, these last two teams are the teams that, I hate to say it, I kind of had said that he would be going to. All right. Oh, I forgot to tell you about one more team that has dropped out. The New York Giants. Okay. Now, New York Giants was a team that I had said that had a possibility of signing him, and that was due to the amount of money that they had available. They had like $16 to $18 million available, and then they made that last signing, and they're trying to attempt to bring Saquon to an extension right now. So if you take out what they paid Daniel Jones and what they've got, they're trying to divvy out to Saquon Barkley, then you have to understand that this is just not the time to be able to try to bring in a DeAndre Hopkins. Yes, it would look good and it would help the team and it might take them to the next level, but it will hurt the future. So the GM of the Giants has stepped in and already said that that's not happening right now. We did our due diligence. We appreciate the opportunity, did all the positive stuff, but at the end of the day, that's not the direction we want to go. So now we get to my other two. So you have the Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry. You have the Browns. Okay. And Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson has come out and publicly proposed to this man, okay, to try to get this man to come to Cleveland. All right. Now, if they was to bring in DeAndre Hopkins, I believe that would bolster their wide receiving corps and put them in a position to possibly compete in the AFC. Right now, I don't think they have that possibility to actually compete for a title AFC championship, but they do have the opportunity to be somebody that's in the mix on some wild card stuff. All right. I really wasn't sold on what I saw from Deshaun Watson last year. They have Peoples-Jones up there. They got Amari Cooper up there. They got some wide receivers. Okay. They got Elijah Moore. All right. But at the end of the day, D-Hop would take them to the next level. And then if you also add in the fact that they still have one of the best running backs in the NFL with Nick Chubb, and they also have David Njoku, they could be a deadly team if you add D-Hop, especially because of the continuity that D-Hop had with Deshaun Watson. Remember, they played together for the Houston Texans. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's kind of a telltale sign that there might be something. There might be smoke where there's fire. If that's the best way to go ahead and eloquate that to you guys. All right. So now we get that back to another team that a lot of people wanted them to go after DeAndre Hopkins. And in the very beginning, I said that this was not an opportunity for DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm going to give you the reasons why. And now it seems like Sports Illustrated and the rest of the world agree that this is the reasons why this wouldn't work. And we're talking about the New England Patriots. Okay. It wouldn't be a culture fit that would be advantageous for the success of DeAndre Hopkins. Okay. Everybody's got to remember that Bill O'Brien is the offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. Bill O'Brien is the same coach who traded away DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, top 5 at that point in time, wide receivers in the NFL, for a bag of chips and maybe a couple pieces of popcorn, not even like a bag of popcorn, like a couple kernels. All right. He gave that man away for nothing to the Arizona Cardinals. And at the end of the day, I just cannot see that working. Not just for that reason. I mean, there's other reasons. Their offense is stagnant as far as how they use the wide receiver or have been using the wide receiver. They got Mac Jones. They're not sure, or they're always waffling on whether or not Mac Jones is their quarterback, which is another problem, especially if you are someone who has already came out and said publicly that there are 5 quarterbacks and 5 teams that you want to play for. Okay. And those 5 quarterbacks and 5 teams that you wanted to play for were Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, were Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, was Jared Goff, okay, and the Detroit Lions, Deshaun Watson, and Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Okay. So Mac Jones wasn't on that list. Now, he did say that defenses do win championships, and he wants to play on a team that has a great defense or has a great defensive culture. But New England is, they're not on that list. So now we come to one of the actual quarterbacks who's on the list, and one of the teams that I said was the favorite to actually get him. And in my honest opinion, I think it's coming down to the Browns and the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions have $24.3 million in salary cap free right now. I think it's like the second or third most in the NFL. Then on top of that, they have one of the most upcoming offenses, or exciting offenses, that you should all be looking out for in the upcoming season. All right. I mean, we're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs. They just drafted the running back out of Alabama. He looks like Alvin Kamara. If you ever watch tape on him, or if you ever watch Alabama play, the boy's a beast. All right. They got Aiden Hutchinson, their first round pick, second pick in the draft from last year, out of the University of Michigan. Boy is a beast coming off that edge. Very technical, very good with the hands, quick with the feet, and he has moves. And he's strong too. It's not like he's just speed and quickness. No, he's not the fastest of foot and most fleet of foot, but he has enough speed and quickness to do what needs to be done. And he is so technical. I mean, his hand placement and his counters that he uses on that line are elite level for somebody who's coming in the second year of the NFL. So just like, their defense has the opportunity to become one of the great defenses. They also just drafted Jack Campbell in the second round. Okay, that is a middle linebacker / outside linebacker that's going to be a tackling machine. The year before that, they drafted somebody in the 5th round by the name of Hernandez. That kid is a tackling machine. All right, like, they just drafted a defensive back this year, also in the 1st round, I believe. He's going to be a beast and turn out to do a lot for them. All right. So they're a team that's on the rise. They only have one wide receiver up there right now with Amon St. Brown, So since they are really lacking at wide receiver, and they've got the 23 million, 24 million that they got out there under the salary cap. All right. Plus they have one of the quarterbacks that he named, so they could actually afford to pay the $15 million that this man is looking for right now. Yeah. Okay. It's the Lions and the Browns in my eyes. Okay. He might consider taking that Kansas City Chiefs job, but I don't believe he will, because I don't think that he thinks the championship is as important as the money, if that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. And he might not be one to be looked upon as a ring chaser either. So that also could be it. So why not get your money, plus be looked upon the way you want to be looked upon, So at the end of the day, you guys, there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of options out there for D-Hop. But where do you guys think he's going to end up? This is the opportunity. I would like to see you guys answer back in the comments. Let me know what you think, where you believe is going to go, who's your team, and if your team is the team that might be able to actually afford him. Okay. There's a lot going on in the NFL, you guys. We are coming to the end of the OTAs, coming to the mandatory mini camps this coming week, which means that we have about another week left of NFL coverage before it goes blackout. We also got to understand that the NBA finals will be ending around that time too. So we will be transitioning into the baseball season. So if you continue to tune in or please like and subscribe and start getting all the notifications on my channel, you will be seeing NFL coverage on a daily basis as we transition from the end of the NBA season to that gap in between NBA and NFL. Yes, I will give you some baseball, okay? I'm not going to completely ignore baseball, but it will be specific. But when it comes to football, I will be trying to give you that every day, all right? Whether it's team specific or whether it is general news, you will get something from me on a daily basis, you guys. And I guarantee there'll be no cut on it. I'm going to give it to you blood raw. So like, subscribe, tell me what you think. I hope you love the show. Tune back in. All right. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. And I'm going to holler at y'all, man. Peace.